What was it like? Mate, it was an honor. The dude is bona fide. He's an Oscar winner. He's this, he's that. He's made films that people around the planet have seen, that are very significant, you know, at this time. Again, he cares.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
You see that. And he had to care. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm not putting this on him, but the point is everybody working on this had to care, because you're talking about real people.
Exactly. It's a real narrative. It's a real story. It's a real human experience. Yep.
And I know some of the family.
Wow.
So this was no time, and this was no time. So this was no time for play. This was time to get serious. This was time to summon up the spirits, you know, of these people, sing a hymn for them, you know, with quality.
Yes.
You know, not one of those productions, maybe, as you know, as we were saying before, one of those productions where they did it, but the quality wasn't great. You know, they didn't throw the money at it. They kind of like skimped on the story.
Or watered it down, diluted it.
Or something, you know, stuff and nonsense when we watch some of these things. Well, no, with this, you can tell that there was quality. He needed there to be quality. He needed it to be real. You know, as I've said before, when that we're filming is 6 policemen throw black men into prison, into jail, into a cell, and that black man doesn't want to go into that cell. When he shouts action, it better look like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It has to look like that. It can't be play, you know? So this was not the one to do that on. So that's what it was like working with Steve McQueen. For once, for the first time for me, I was with a director who really cared to tell the story, asked like a story of our, you know, background properly. And that's an honor, because it doesn't happen. It's been once in a lifetime for me on telly.
Yeah.
Or on film in this country. I've done stuff on stage, you know, and whatever else.
Blue Orange, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and Joe Penhall is another one of those writers who cares.
Wow.
You know, but Steve McQueen, he wrote and directed this. You know, he's a writer director. You know, that's also very different when you have someone who not only directs it and knows what he's talking about, he wrote it, so he knows the heart. So he has the balance. So he knows when he's talking to you about this, you know, he's coming from a place, he already knew what he was talking about because it's the culture, but you know what I'm saying. He wrote it, so you feel it that much more. You know?
Absolutely. How did it feel like playing Frank Critchlow of all people? Because he's like an icon in the whole Black British, you know, Black Caribbean history. Like, how was that specific role for you? Would you have done any other role or had it any other way, or was that just like you were really keen on, happy to do that?
I would have been happy to be any part of this.
Fair enough.
To be honest, you know, it's one of those where I would have, but how does it feel? I mean, again, it's a first for me in my life. You know, telling the story of our heritage. Okay, the only time I went to Trinidad was a long time ago in a twin propeller plane, going from Grenada to Trinidad, thinking that we were all going to die.
Oh, sorry, like laughing because I'm so happy, but then like, sorry.
Because of the plane journey.
Yeah, no, so, fair enough. That's all.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That plane journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the 80s, that was no joke.
No, I get you. Is it the ones where you're this close to the pilot as well? Like
you're close to the pilot, you know, and people are squeezing you like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, woo! You hear that a lot. Woo! And then the customary clap when
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you know these things. Good. My friends, because my best friends are from Africa, and they still ride in those propeller planes, by the way. And like when we got there, we were clapping, and they were like, "What's wrong?" I was just like, "This is us. We're happy. We made it. Like it's a customary, that we just kept all the time." But sorry, go on.
So anyway, we're representing our heritage. And the other thing is that I've been someone who's been saying for quite a while, I want to do something that represents my heritage.
Yes.
I don't want to play another role that was written for a white guy. I don't want to play another role that was written for a woman. I don't want to play a role because of this kind of like, this thing that people they're trying to give out roles and stuff. This was actually made sense on a gut level for me. Things about this I didn't really have to think about too much when you read the script.
Yeah.
And maybe when I don't know, I can't speak for you, but maybe when you watch it, you recognize things. Well, the reason why that is because everybody in that recognized what they were doing. And when you do a script, when you read a script, when you're playing on screen like that, as it were, it's that much easier in a way, funnily enough, to get those emotions out.
Yeah.
Because you understand to the core, your DNA understands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was it like? Listen, you get the phone call. Well done, you got the thing, and from the agent, you got Frank, yeah, and you have a big smile on your face, and then within 10 minutes, you think, oh man, now I've got to do it.
Serious. From the moment that you hear, it's like that kicks in, that seriousness. That
a few minutes. You get a few minutes of discussing like well dones and stuff, and whatever else. But then you realize, yeah, I have to, how long have I got to do this? Right, about 3.5, 4 weeks. Ooh, I've got to do an accent, So as much as it was an honor to say a prayer, a hymn for these people after 50 years, it's not that it's, it was, you have to do a good job. You have to take it seriously. And that if you don't do a good job and you don't take it seriously, you're going to have other actors ringing you up, asking you why you didn't.
Yeah, no. I appreciate you taking the accent seriously, because I'm so proud. I'm happy that, you did your thing, and it was
well. I know if there's one thing I know with our community, I'm going to have too many people coming up to me and saying, well, you didn't tongue, you didn't get into the role, man. There was no chops, man. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. No. So I didn't. So I couldn't have that. So as I say, I would blame my friend Makemba for that. But we met a few times. We met a few times, and it was great because I got down on dictaphone. And listen, he didn't tell me how to do the line, physically and emotionally. You have to get there as an actor. But the idea of how Trinidad is different to Jamaica, when Jamaicans get mad, what that energy is, as opposed to when Trinidadians get mad, and what that is,
Just me.
Exactly, and the words used, and the cuss words used, and
we'll go on for hours and hours and hours, and then 10 years later we still bring it back up. Like, remember that time when? You understand?
And I always loved our Trinidadian family. I always loved the accent, and I loved their spirit, because it's different to Jamaica. It's different. The Jamaicans got the headlines in my family. The small island lot of my family, the Grenadians, they don't really get the headlines so much, if you see where I'm coming from. So, the Jamaicans are quite loud and, present.
I compare Jamaicans to Nigerians and Trinidadians to Ghanaians. We're like the calmer, quieter, and then the Nigerians like in your face.
There you go. You see, things like that. It's things like that. So to have a magnifying glass thrown on those little nuances as well, For me, it's tremendous. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're big fans of Carnival here over at Carib Brit. Have you ever been to Carnival? Like, do you prefer Juve Carnival? Well, Juve, I should say, or Pretty Mas?
Well, you know what? You know what? For me, I've been to Carnival from when I was like 6, 7 years old. I remember my dad driving us to Carnival, the
Wow.
Notting Hill Carnival
Wow. Okay.
in London, because I haven't been to Carnival in any other country yet. Yet.
You should
But
come to Trinidad. Get Makemba as well to bring you through. He's not a good friend if he hasn't had you for Carnival.
oh, he would. Oh, he would. He would. He definitely would. But I remember those days and being able from Southeast London to get to West London in like 20 minutes as well. But I have to say, the last few times at the Carnival, let's put it like this. You know that song, "In the Streets is Getting Hot, but
And
the
you
youth
tell
them
us,
I get so cold."
oh,
Whoa, whoa.
listen, don't stop me, you know. I'll pull out my I am like, I'm Trinity Bowen, so I'm ready to party. I'm like, wait that. Sorry, go on.
Well, unfortunately, the last couple of carnivals I've been to in recent years made me think of that song.
Okay.
Because at the end of the evening, you know, what I've seen on the streets after midnight has been upsetting. So yeah, I've kind of like, I took a back seat from the carnival, but I love the carnival more often than not. I love it. I love the food, the atmosphere. It just reminds me of being young again. It reminds me of being young and going to market and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, you know, you're just seeing a lot of people on the same level.
Yeah.
All being there for the same reason,
Yes.
and all there to have fun.
Yes.
And
Like stress-free fun, drama-free fun, just
drama-free fun. And whenever you're around our community doing that, there's no better community.
no.
There's no better day. The food, the rum, the dancing, every single. So the weaves. Sorry, is that what you were saying? But for sure, the look, there's and there's a little bit of that in the Mangrove. You know, there's a little smidgen of that in the Mangrove about the pan. You know, where the pan comes from.
Yeah.
And what that means, and actually, and where these spirits come from, the want to do this, the need to dance, to summon those spirits of fun. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. I'm so I'm so glad I've got to calm down, because I'm going to be dancing with you if I'm not careful, and I've got to be careful. But look, it was an amazing experience. All of these things that you've brought up, they're in the show. They show it's not just one side of things that we're looking at here. We're not just looking at the worthy side. We're not just looking at the "oh, woe is me" side, and we're looking at that. We're looking at the fact we like to dance, we like to smile, we like to joke, we like to eat good food, we like to be amongst good company with good music, good vibes. And but when our vibes are messed up, we take umbrage to that. And I think that's explored in that show.
Thank you so much for that. Like, can you tell me which one you prefer between theater and on screen?
It's always about the role.
Okay. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. I actually never thought of it like that. Can you, like?
I don't know that everyone would say that. I don't know that every actor on the planet would say that. Right. But for me specifically, like you mentioned, Blue Orange, by hook or by crook, I have to play that role. It's not that it's theater. It's not that it's TV. It's just that, there's certain things about that role that I recognize maybe, and it's real. It represents the real. You know, it represents a cry for help, which I think the Mangrove does as well. You know, so yeah, I would do that role every single time I'm asked. If they're going to do it properly. whatever, wherever it was. So again, you know, Kwame Kwei-Armah has wrote a show as well. You know Kwame?
No, not familiar.
Okay, well, Kwame, man, look him up. Look him
I
up.
should say yes for the thing.
No, no, not
I'm gonna be
necessarily, but
honest.
yeah, look him up. He's an interesting dude, and he's doing some great things. And he wrote a show that for the National Theatre a few
Right.
years ago that we ended up doing twice. That people from all over London, from all over Hackney, all over Peckham, all over Forest Hill, all over East, North, South, West, came to the National Theatre to watch and enjoyed it very, very much.
I'm sure you had a role to play with that because your credentials are, you know what I mean. So don't all give it to Kwame. But
I've been very lucky. I've been very, very lucky. But it's always about the role. It's
yes.
always if the role is representing something that I think I can mirror. If I feel I can speak for this character or something like that. I know it all sounds a bit okay. Come on, Shaun, but it essentially ends up being that. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Can you give us any like juicy previews of Mr. Frank Critchlow? You're not allowed to divulge too much.
I don't know. I mean, it depends when this piece comes out. But are you talking about what happens in the show, or what are we
Anything you want to
talking
tell
about?
us?
No, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to kind of say, oh, watch out for this bit, you know, when everybody kind of, you know, when the spaceship arrives or something. I'm not going to say that. But no, I would just say that if you're interested in watching the nuances of Black culture, the gamut of emotions, which is a day or a week in the life of the West Indian community, then this is the one to watch.
Absolutely. And with it being such like a serious, because Small Axe have quite a serious narrative, like obviously viewers can expect to grasp some, well, as you said, a well-rounded representation of the West Indian history and experience. But where can we find you next?
Well, there's bits and bobs coming out. There's a film's just come out, Black Emperor of Broadway, which is about is a true story about the first Black actor on Broadway in America. So that's just come out, and yeah, I've got bits and bobs that I'm not really allowed to say right now in terms of TV. I'm just about to go on to do something now, so yeah, I'm not going to say anything there, but you will see me again.
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm going to try my hand at a bit of writing as well. So,
a bit of who?
A bit of writing.
Right? Oh, okay. I mean, you know.
Okay.
I see you.
Okay, I'll remember you, Ashley.
Yes, please do. And hopefully I meet Makemba as well, and I tell him off about not having...
Yeah, you'd love Makemba. You'd love Makemba. I'm sure you would. He's a good guy, but yeah.
Thank you so much, Shaun, for your time. Like, it's been really a pleasure speaking to you.
You too, for sure, for sure.